Welcome to Graspable AI, videos about AI for teachers who want to understand what artificial intelligence means for the world, for education, for your classroom, your teaching, and of course for our students as well. This is a pretty short and condensed video about how to teach about deepfakes and automated fraud. I'm not going into details about long examples of how to teach about this. If you like this, please leave a comment. If you think I should do differently in the next video, please leave a comment as well. I want to listen to what you think and learn from it. So, teaching about deepfakes and fraud could start in preschool, which is, I think, an important lesson to learn. This isn't just for kids who have their own smartphones or computers. This is for anyone who can be fooled by deepfakes. Because, and this of course goes for small kids as well. On the other hand, we shouldn't overload small kids with theories about deepfakes and stuff, but we should help them understand that basically anything that is, any media that is digital could be fake. And that means that we could, in a harmless way, let children discover harmless deepfake images or videos in preschool or grade 1 to 3, for example, and then discuss how is this possible? How can we have this video? We can see this person doing that, but it didn't actually happen, and have some discussions about that. You could also start exploring things like deepfaked voices. There are services online where you can record your voice and then deepfake it, or record someone else's voice, and then play it back for the kids. You can probably do some kind of funny things with that, but then also start discussing how do you think it feels for this person being deepfaked by this computer, and what if we make this voice say bad things about someone else? How does the recipient feel about that, the person owning the voice, and things like that, and then starting discussing ethical questions about deepfakes. But basically, I think the most important thing for the early ages is that the kids should become aware of what is possible to do with computers nowadays, because we have a digital divide, and we can start closing that gap also in preschool. All right, so that's F23. If we move up a few years, then I think it makes sense to have rules about deepfakes at school, and discussing ethics about deepfakes. Is it okay to deepfake images of someone else, for example? Probably not. Even if they agree to it, I would say it's a bad thing to make deepfakes of someone else when you're a kid. Demonstrating deepfakes, having kids seeing, experiencing deepfakes, I think is good. Also having stuff like guessing what media is real and what is fake, things like that. I think at this age, as soon as kids have their own smartphones, they will eventually, or pretty soon, depending on the parents, end up in social networks, and then it's important to learn about the psychology of virality, sharing stuff, liking stuff, disliking stuff, and how you can be fooled into reacting in ways that you wouldn't do if you actually were kind of thoughtful. Because that is a huge part of understanding the deepfake problems. It's not mainly about, it's partly about the actual media, but the content, the intents and stuff like that. And understanding the psychology of virality is useful. And then having some simple methods for resisting deepfakes. Like if you see something that makes you laugh out loud or become angry or giving you strong emotions, then that should be a trigger, not for sharing stuff or reacting and commenting, but for thinking one more time, is this actually happening? Is this real? Who is sharing this? Where does it come from? With what purpose was it created? Stuff like that. And I know it's not easy for in year 4 to 6 to do this at depth, but starting to do it at this age, I think makes a lot of sense. Then we have secondary school, where you can go go more at depth depending on the age of the students. And I think here we can go beyond the psychology of virality and also start looking at cognitive biases that are exploited for when deepfakes are created or spread, planted somewhere. And understanding your own psychological flaws that are being exploited. Looking deeper into the incentives behind deepfakes. Sometimes it's just harmless, doing something for fun and getting attention for it. Sometimes it's for getting money. Sometimes it's for affecting opinion on kids or particular subgroups of society, and that could be foreign powers trying to affect you. And then discussing potential social effects of deepfakes, societal effects of deepfakes, because it's one thing if you're being fooled by deepfake to send $100 to someone, but if this is done at a larger scale, which is possible, of course, then you can start affecting people into, say, having certain opinions about vaccines, or about climate change, or about AI, or about, well, you get it. And that is something being used by foreign actors and other strong powers that wants to control or tweak society in some way, of course. All right, then who should teach this? Well, I'm sorry, it said Swedish here. It should be first language. I think civics and first language teachers that spend a lot of time with students. And first language teachers, at least in Sweden, have a lot of teaching about critical thinking as well. So it fits well into these subjects. In general, I think also the kind of mentors, which could be preschool teachers, class teachers, or mentors for higher ages, is also a good candidate for teaching about this, because it's not only a subject skill, but a life skill in general. School librarians, at least in Sweden, school librarians have a lot of responsibility for critical thinking. So incorporating this in activities that school librarians do makes sense. In Sweden, for years 7 to 9, technology involves a lot of things. And technology subject involves a lot of connections between society and technology. If this is true in your country, then I think technology is a good candidate for teaching this as well. All right, time for an exercise, as usual. And this is a pretty plain exercise. Prepare some kind of teaching activities to help your children or students to discover, to manage deepfakes in a good way, to reflect on them. Is this a deepfake? To discover, see whether, or realize that something might be deepfaked, and then also to act on deepfakes in a good way, not using any kneecap reaction, but knee-jerk reaction, but actually act in a thoughtful way. Try to practice to do that. It's difficult, even for adults like me, but practicing is a good way. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video.